changed your life in ways that you could have never imagined.
Luke Combs and his wife Nicole just made a huge announcement. Nicole recently gave birth to baby boy number 2, but their announcement left out one pretty major detail. Sadly, Luke wasn't there for his new son's birth, and you won't believe why he missed it. Luke certainly seemed excited for his second son to arrive, and Nicole posted an intimate moment on her social media after the baby was born. She welcomed baby Bo Lee Combs in an uploaded video featuring a Polaroid picture of Bo that develops while you're watching the video. This post appeared on Nicole and Luke's joint account on social media, which is sweet but also shocking since Luke wasn't there for his new baby's birth. Bo was born on August 15th, so where was Luke? You won't believe this, but Luke was actually still on tour when Nicole gave birth, and where Luke was touring will shock you. That's Luke performing to thousands of fans, but those fans don't sound like they have American accents. That's because Luke was performing a string of sold-out shows in Australia, which might make you wonder, why was Luke across the world when his wife was about to give birth? Luke and Nicole gave us a hint when they announced she was pregnant with Bo. They posted the exciting news about Nicole's pregnancy this past March. Nicole and Luke wrote that they were joining the 2 Under 2 club, and they included sweet pictures of their first child, Tex Lawrence, wearing a Big Brother t-shirt. At least Luke was around for his first son's birth, and Tex chose the right day to arrive. Shockingly, Nicole gave birth on Father's Day. You won't believe what Luke had to say about that. Luke said that Tex had decided that Father's Day would be a good time to show up, and Luke claimed that he couldn't agree more, which is crazy since Luke missed Bo's birth. Luke's social media accounts featured sweet pictures of his first son. Luke wrote, in part, "Been living a lot of life lately." He also included pictures with NFL star Patrick Mahomes, as well as a rehearsal photo for a performance with Ed Sheeran. Luke said he wanted to share a look into how things have been going. He also said it had been a hell of a year on the road as well as at home, and he said he had his fans to thank for that. But some inside sources are throwing shade. There are rumors that Luke is putting music ahead of his family, and the Celeb Wives of Nashville Reddit forum really got into this story. An item was posted on the Celeb Wives subreddit shortly after Nicole gave birth to Bo. It was under the flair for Nashville gossip. The unbelievable post was titled, "I guess he didn't make birth," and shockingly, some members of the subreddit misinterpreted that post in the worst way. More than one member thought the post meant that Nicole had lost the baby, but thankfully that's not the case. But the Celeb Wives member who posted that shocking title also mentioned something crazy. They revealed what Nicole allegedly said about Bo's birth. Supposedly, Nicole had told a follower online that baby number 2 would arrive after Luke was done with his world tour. And when Nicole and Luke announced her second pregnancy in March, they did claim at the time that the baby was expected to be due in September. Obviously, that wasn't the case. An inside source claimed that Bo was born a month early, but the Celeb Wives subreddit still wondered why Luke wasn't there for Bo's birth. Other members gave their side of the story, and you could consider them inside sources, since these members apparently live in Australia or New Zealand, and many of them went to Luke's shows down under. One person mentioned that Luke began his tour in New Zealand on August 9th. Another member said that they had seen one of Luke's concerts in Australia, and this member alleged that Luke said his new baby was expected to arrive within a week. But if that's the real truth, why didn't Luke just reschedule that leg of his world tour? And there's another unbelievable side to this story, because allegedly Nicole was concerned that Luke might miss the baby's birth, which is definitely what happened. Shockingly, the iHeart website addressed this issue in March 2023. They even included a screenshot from Luke's social media in an article titled, "Nicole Combs opens up about due date overlapping Luke Combs World Tour." Here is the announcement of Luke's 2023 World Tour schedule. The Celeb Wives member from Down Under was right. Luke began the New Zealand and Australia portion of his tour on August 9th in Auckland. Then he went on to do shows in Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, and Adelaide, Australia. Remember, Luke and Nicole claimed that their baby was expected in September 2023, so that makes Luke's last Australian tour date pretty shocking. He performed in Perth, Australia on August 26th, giving him barely a week before September started. That is crazy. If you follow Nicole on social media, you might already know another side of the story. Nicole has done social media Q&As throughout her second pregnancy, and she's had plenty of shocking questions from her followers. Someone wanted to know if Luke would cancel his show if Nicole went into labor early. You won't believe what Nicole had to say. She wrote that it was around 22 hours to get back from Australia if Luke got on a plane immediately. Nicole wrote, LOL, like she was pretending that was funny. But do you think that's the real truth? Shockingly, Nicole claimed that she wasn't due until Luke got back, and she claimed she was trying really hard not to go into early labor. Whether or not you've had kids, there's no way you can control when that baby's coming. Although Nicole made a shocking claim during that Q&A, she mentioned the birth of her first son, Tex. Nicole said she did everything in her power to get him out, and Nicole said that Tex arrived a day early. But since Beau was a month early, you can't really say that Nicole had any control over that. Other followers asked Nicole even more personal questions. One person wanted to know if Nicole was nervous about Luke going on a world tour during her pregnancy. It sounds like Nicole gave the real truth when she answered that question, because Nicole said, not going to lie, yeah, and that was in response to whether she was nervous about Luke going on tour. But if Nicole really felt that way, why didn't Luke reschedule his shows down under? There's no way that Luke couldn't have known how his wife felt about this. He appeared on a podcast recently before his son Beau arrived. He was speaking with Mike Adam for Odyssey's Check-In series. Luke gave his side of the story. He admitted it was going to be wild becoming father of two, but Luke also mentioned something crazy.
And it's actually kind of getting down to the wire.
Luke told Mike that he would be cutting it close, so he had to know he could possibly miss his son's due date, and that's exactly what happened. This side of the story got everyone talking on the Celeb Wives forum. Some Celeb Wives members couldn't help throwing some shade. One person wrote, unpopular opinion, artists should not be touring the month before/month of their baby's due date. Priorities definitely need some adjusting, while other members were a little more forgiving. Someone else wrote, it seems he had most of September off of touring, so that seemed to be their plan. Sometimes babies have their own plans though. That's fine to say, but if that's the real truth, why were Luke and Nicole both concerned that he would miss Beau's arrival? Another Celeb Wives member said it wouldn't hurt Luke financially to take a couple of months off to be there for the birth of his child and to take care of his wife. Although another Celeb Wives member threw shade at that comment. This user wrote, who cares? Military families do this all the time if the man is deployed. While that comment is true, you also can't really compare Luke's situation as a rich and famous country artist to anyone who's called away on duty to serve their country. But anyway, what do you guys think? What do you think about Luke missing Beau's birth? Is it suspicious that Luke and Nicole said the baby was coming in September, but they both seem worried about Luke's who were overlapping with the birth? Do you think music stars should prioritize their families more, or is it all a part of the business? Let me know in the comments below.